Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it!
Welcome to another edition of Cajun Classic Cars TV. We're in Port Barre, Louisiana. I'll tell you where that is in here in a little bit. But right now, Gayle, tell us, what car are we going to be talking about?
We have a 1956 Chevrolet 3100 half-ton pickup truck.
And it is gorgeous. Let's talk about it on Cajun Classic Cars TV.
Just about 30 minutes outside of Lafayette, Louisiana, sits the little town of Port Barre. Situated in St. Landry Parish, Port Barre began in 1760 as an Indian trading post and is located at the confluence of Bayou Corda Bleu and Bayou Teche, and is home to the Port Barre Red Devils. And one of my favorite festivals in the Bayou State, the Cracklin' Festival, one my cardiologist tries to get me to stay away from. Let's chat with Gayle about this awesome award-winning truck of his.
Chevrolet leads the way with the most modern trucks on any job. A modern, higher-powered short-stroke V8 for every truck model.
More powerful valve and head sixes.
An automatic drive for every series. See the 56 Chevrolet Task Force fleet at the greatest truck stop in the world. Your Chevrolet dealers.
Part of the Chevrolet Task Force of trucks, the 3100 was a light-duty truck first introduced in 1955. In 1958, the series was renamed Apache, and the model continued with minor changes through 1959. In 1960, the truck was replaced by the new CK series. Before we talk about this award-winning truck, let's find out about Gayle's love of cars.
Air Force in 1968 in Little Rock, Arkansas. And as soon as I got out, I wanted a car to go back and forth, and I loved old cars and stuff like that. And the first car I ever bought for myself was a 55 Chevrolet.
Is there a car in your history, Gayle, that you wish wouldn't have got away?
All of them.
But the problem is we have wives that don't want us to have a house full of cars.
My overall favorite, though, that I never got, and that was my number one favorite, of course, the 55 Chevrolet Bel Air two-door hardtop was one of my favorites. I've had one of these all my life, almost. But the Nomad is my favorite, the 55 Nomad.
The Nomad is an awesome car.
Nothing wrong with the 56, and I have nothing wrong with the 57, but the 55, to me, was the best one.
And they're almost today priced out of being able to buy them. I mean, you get a shell of one, of a Nomad, no matter what year, is, almost beyond.
Yeah, and the tough part, too, the parts for them anymore.
Yeah.
You can't get the browse for the headlights. You can't get the chrome in the back.
Right.
And so it's really hard to get the parts for them.
So, Gayle, let's walk around this 56 truck here and tell us some of the unique features and anything you want to share about it.
First off, the only thing 56 about this truck is the body. Everything below the truck is a 78 Blazer four-wheel drive. And on the frame, the running gear is a four-wheel drive. The rear end, the gas tank is from the Blazer. One of the good things about when I talk about the gas tank, normally it's a 15-gallon behind your seat. This is a 32-gallon gas tank that comes from a Blazer. And the good part about that is the truck has a good balance. When you got that many gallons, you can put it in the back with the weight on the front. It's got good steering.
So, Gayle, tell us about this gorgeous paint job on it, man.
Well, I bought this truck originally. It came pretty much as is. I've changed a lot of things on it since I've had it, but it came from California. And it has all kind of modifications on it. For example, if you notice when we look inside the truck, most people, 99% of people don't notice that dash is a 56 Chevrolet Bel Air dash out of a car. It's not a truck. So they've done a lot of modifications to this truck when it was built, as far as doing that in the interior, and also with the bed under the rear of it. It's all been custom made. If you notice where the fuel tank is now, it's here. So that takes the unleaded hose instead of the big hose. And like I said, it's got a 32-gallon tank in it. The bed's fairly new. I put it was all powder coated the bottom and the sides, and I didn't like the powder coating on the bed part of it, on the bottom of it. So I put this bed. This bed's probably about 3 years old. Solid oak bed, stainless steel runners and everything in it.
Tell us about the wheels.
Standard slotted. I don't even know what center line I think it is wheels that I've had on here, and they're 18-inch wheels. You want to look at the motor, see what this thing's got in it?
Let's do it.
That's a 454. Old, probably about 80s model 454. Originally came, the 454, the big block back then, 450 horsepower. This has been stroked a little bit, so it's run somewhere close to 500 horsepower right now. All aluminum radiator, air conditioning, power steering.
All the comforts of home.
Yes, disc brakes. The motor and the body and the paint job is the way it was when I bought it. I've done some cosmetic work, like I said, the bed. I've done completely changed the interior on it, changed the wheels on it. And other than that, pretty much the way I bought it. One of the things you can notice on the truck, when you look at the bumper, you normally just say, well, it's just a bumper. This is a show bumper, and the difference is you don't see the brackets and bolts and stuff sticking through the chrome. It's all one piece.
Let's check out more of Gayle's truck and head inside.
Okay, welcome to the inside world.
So, Gayle, tell us about some of the features of this car, this truck inside.
Well, first off, the person that did it, I guess he's probably about 71 years old now. He was 68, I think, when I took this truck over and had him do it. And he worked on this truck for 5 months. And the guy that did it is originally from Holland. And he met a girl online from Louisiana in Tucson. And he picked up shop and moved to Tucson and started doing upholstery. He's a master upholsterer. In Holland, he taught upholstering from sailboats to boats, and never really did vehicles till he got over to here. And I've seen some of his work at shows, and I found out who he was and where he was at. And went and talked to him about this. And he's up in age like a lot of us, and told me that probably this is the last vehicle he's going to do, because it's hard for him to get around and do the work and everything. But everywhere I've been at the car show, and I told him when I picked up this truck, I said, you ruined my truck. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, nobody cares about the truck anymore. Everybody's going to care about the interior. And that's proven to be the truth, because everywhere I go to a show, everybody talks about the interior. And most people look at this interior and say, well, it's a nice interior and all, but they don't understand the quality of the work that's been done in this, which you can point out. But I've had people from all over that come to shows and open it up and see the interior, and these are upholstery people that's doing that for a job, that do it for a living. And one of the first things they'll ask me, who did this interior? And they said they've never seen this type of quality of workmanship. And several of them, I've had to give them his name and his phone number and his address and everything, because they want to go visit with him, because he knew he has the knowledge and, you know, and stuff. And what's unique about his shop, it's a little lean-to. I only got my truck into the shop at home. But most of his equipment, he told me that he deals with upholstery and all this kind of stuff. It's handmade tools that he made back when he was 16, 17, 18 years old. So back in Holland, you couldn't buy tools like, you know, he needed or whatever, so he made his own. He still uses the same tools today when he's up doing upholstery work.
And of course, you didn't have enough yellow, so you had to get Tweety Bird.
Yeah. Same up there.
I thought I tore a pony tab.
You said your upholstery guy made these mats?
Yes, and he told me these are show mats, and I had some rubber mats. Guess what? It had a Tweety Bird on the mat too. But he told me that was one of the presents he made for me. He said, I'm gonna make these mats, but he said, I just want you to do one thing. I said, what's that? He said, when you drive your truck around normally just every day wherever you go, don't use these mats. Only put them in when you go to a car show or whatever. I said, okay.
You got all the modern equipment, like a good radio.
Oh, yeah.
To listen to cruising radio, powered by Cajun Classic Cars TV.
Yeah, we got all that stuff. I put digital electronics and everything in here. Digital radio. Like I said, it's got tilt. Lock the brackets. And one of the things I did is I just put speakers in the back. But I said, a truck this size, what do you need? Speakers in the front and the back.
Tell me a little bit about this dash. We talked a bit about it before off camera, but for those fans of Chevrolets, they'll recognize this dash from something other than a truck, right?
Recognize what now?
The dash.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most people, when you look at a dash, you assume it comes with the vehicle, so they don't pay any attention to it and just look at your vehicle. But this dash is a 56 Chevrolet Bel Air car dash. So the truck dash is nothing looks like this, and it was taken out and fabricated with this dash that's in here today.
I love it when people get creative and repurpose something like that, you know? I mean, it takes a really neat mind to go, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't, not really sure that would work. To us, we might not even consider that, but the fact that they did.
Right, and most people may not even know that, but the most recognizable dash, if you know what it is, and the most popular dash is a 59 Chevrolet car. That's I've seen them in all kind of vehicles, and that's probably the most used dash of all old cars is the 59 Chevrolet.
I love in the seats the fleur-de-lis, given to that Louisiana style.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he does a lot of tie-in work here. I guess, he did a lot of thought process. It took him 5 months to do this truck.
Wow.
And he would walk me through the process of what he'd like to do and how that fit with what I wanted and stuff like that. And one of the hardest things he had to put together in his mind when he's doing this truck was this right here. Because that has a rubber gasket around it and an inlay paneling. And I went over to his house once a week for 5 months. We'd go over there and talk about what we're going to do next, and what do you think about this, and what do you think about that. And one of the things I'd go back over there, for example, he said, Gayle, he said, I'll stay to work all night trying to figure out this top. And he said, it came to me how to do that. So he told me how he was going to put that together and how he was going to tie all that in, and that's how it came out.
All right, so unlike a lot of older vehicles, do you get any leaks during a rain?
No,
or are you pretty airtight?
Airtight.
Nice.
And the guy that did the interior for me, and he worked on this truck in the interior for 5 months. I'd go over and see him about once a week, and we'd go over what we was doing and what we're going to do next. And I guess about a month or two into the project, he called me and told me don't come this week because he didn't do that much on my truck. And I said, well, were you sick or something? He said, yeah, kind of. I said, what's wrong? He said, well, I was seeing too much yellow. So he said, I had to get away from the yellow for a while and then start back over. And everything in the interior, there's a lot of pieces in there that still was yellow when he was working on it, but we took care of that and we changed it to, where it wasn't yellow anymore. Brian could see it out of the vents. Most people put their radio speakers in there, but I like the vent because if it's not hot, I don't like to really run air. There's time to open my vents. But one of the problems he had was that vent. He did all the leather work around and everything, and the panel had them done, but the vents were yellow. So after a while, it kept bothering him. I told him, I said, okay, I called him up. I said, before I come over there and take those vents off those panels, I'm going to pick them up. Well, Gayle already made the panels. I said, I don't understand it, but go ahead and give me those vents. He didn't know what he probably thought I was going to paint them. But anyway, I took the vents and part of the leather material, and I took it to, had it powder coated. And so brought it back, and he was tickled to death that they weren't yellow vents. And they did a tremendous job of matching the color up with the color of the material. Okay, Brian, ready to take for a little drive?
Sounds good to me, man.
Major difference in a 56 frame, all original, than a 78 Blazer running gear. A lot more comfortable, easier to drive, easier to steer. So, major difference in the two.
We're going to see the finer points of the metropolis of Port Barre, Louisiana.
Another thing too, I've owned a lot of old vehicles, of course new ones too. But all the old vehicles I've ever had, and all the new vehicles I've always had, this is the sharpest turning vehicle I've ever owned in my life. It'll turn around in a dime. I don't know why. I guess because the four-wheel drive. But it won't put you on the 190 and give it all the gas it'll do. Might scare you a little bit.
What's the fastest you've had her at?
Well, on this day when I go through the coast, you know, I drive at 75, 80, 85 miles an hour, and it'll cruise at 80, 85, no problem. But I've headed up to 100, and still wasn't wound out, you know, top speed yet. But
What parish are we in right now? What parish are we in right now?
St. Landry.
Oh, you got to be careful going 100 in St. Landry. The sheriff will get you.
Yeah, if you know where to get on I-49 at, there's some safe places, but you have to be careful.
I'm only saying that as a guy who's actually got a ticket in St. Landry.
Well, if you've been around I-49 around Washington very long, they was noted for speed traps in Washington forever, but it's not quite as bad now since they changed the speed limit over there from 65 to 75, so they, you know, wouldn't be stopping everybody that comes through there.
Now, off camera, you were telling me a little bit about your background. You're not, you could say you're a Louisianian now, but you're originally from where again?
From Little Rock, Arkansas. I served in the Air Force in 64 to 68. They told me to join the military and see the world, and I got out of boot camp in San Antonio, went to Little Rock, got out in Little Rock. So that's all the world I saw. And that was during the Vietnam, you know, era, which all my buddies, I was in security too, security police. And all my buddies went to Vietnam, Thailand, and everything else, and I stayed and got out there. But anyway, I went looking for a job in an unemployment office, and they told me about this company just started up. They wanted to hire somebody, so I went over for an interview, and they hired me that day, and it was a drug wholesale company that just started. And I was the first one in the, working in the company. They hired to work in the warehouse part. And so I started out working in the warehouse, number one, and they hired number two, number three, number four. And anyway, in 12 years, I went from just starting out to assistant general manager. And so 79, I guess it was, somewhere around 79, a group of pharmacies from South Louisiana, around Lafayette area and Acadiana, all in the Cajun country, came up and looked at what we were doing, what type of wholesale, and wanted to know if we'd be interested in helping them try to start a wholesale and show them what we do and how we do it, and they will start their own drug wholesale in South Louisiana. So it's okay. So they supposed to hire somebody that didn't work out. So about 6 months, 8 months into the startup, they called my boss in Arkansas, wanted to know if he knew someone that maybe they could hire to come down here and start it up for him. And he said, well, Gayle, I can send him down there. You know, I think he's qualified. I don't know if I was qualified or not to start one from scratch, but anyway, I moved down here in 1979 and started a company in Sunset, Louisiana called Louisiana Wholesale Drug. And so I left. I've been retired about 12 years. So I spent all of my working career in drug wholesale.
I think we left some rubber on the road.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that horsepower and that light back end. It's very easy to lose control of it. So it won't take much to spin on the line.
Gayle, thanks for your hospitality, man. We appreciate it. This is a gorgeous truck. It's been an honor filming it here in Fort Barre, Louisiana today.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you coming through.
Thanks for watching another great edition of Cajun Classic Cars TV. Head to our website, CajunClassicCarsTV.com, for more great car stuff and to submit your ride for the next episode. Cajun Classic Cars TV is brought to you in part by Vicari Auction. Consign your car today for the next auction at the Mississippi Coliseum and Convention Center, May 30th and 31st. More details at VicariAuction.com.